Yo, what's good with y'all, man? Today we got one Lamar Jackson fan versus 10 Lamar Jackson haters, bro. This video was made like a year ago, but I had to watch this, bro. Especially now it's the all season, so we gonna go to get to it. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. This video 38 minutes long.
Best player in the NFL is Joe Burrow. No.
But one thing about this, bro, is it's crazy how they the certain stuff that be said about Lamar. It don't make sense.
Lamar Jackson's probably one of the most respected players.
Cause it's crazy, bro.
Mr. October, and football, that's not a great thing.
I just want y'all to go look at
He has never been that.
everything though. But most people, y'all gonna watch this video, y'all gonna be Lamar Jackson fans.
Do you believe that in your heart?
This is why he's not in the Super Bowl right now. Congratulations. Welcome to one fan.
And this is the thing. Well, look, it's the intro. I gotta say something about that, bro. I'm gonna be yapping on this video, of course. I got to, bro. But bro, people be saying a quarterback doesn't have a Super Bowl like it's a MVP. Bro, a Super Bowl is a team award. It is not a player. A player is not gonna take a whole team to a Super Bowl without a good defense or without coaching, without everything. Everybody got to play for a Super Bowl, but you can't just win a Super Bowl on your own.
First 10 haters, we have Jack Settleman,
You cut it up a little
super
bit.
fan in the building who will be taking on.
Y'all gonna see that though. Y'all gonna realize that.
Haters. How you feeling about that?
What could you hate that man for?
All right, our first prompt. Lamar Jackson is the best player in the NFL. You're going to say he's the
Yes,
best player.
I feel that at his
He
best.
hasn't
Yes,
won
Lamar Jackson
anything
when healthy,
meaningful.
he's the best player.
How can you make that argument that he's the best player in the NFL?
Is Jalen Hurts the second best player in the NFL right now?
I mean, I would say Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL simply because he's won Super Bowls.
Oh my gosh, bro! It's bro, this the same thing. I obviously you can respect it, but bro, you gotta think on how much talent quarterback it has, bro. You can't obviously Patrick Mahomes he won a Super Bowl, but that's what you can say, right? But like I said, you can't. Oh, Lamar doesn't have a Super Bowl. You can't put that on, bro. Obviously, yeah, cause Lamar his hand was in that fire with what he did in the playoffs. I'm gonna be real. I looked at some of the games back. Lamar threw those couple picks in some games, but I do think he gotten better. He probably been looking at what he done, and he hasn't been throwing on risky 50-50 balls. But it do goes to show you that happened. When he made it to the big games, when we was #1 in the division, we had the first seed, played to the Chiefs. That's the biggest game that people go back on, and it do suck. Lamar threw a pick in that game, trying to make a play, and how that all happened. Lamar made a mistake. Then the Bills game, the playoffs. He even that game, people was talking about that Mark Andrews catch, but Lamar did throw a pick. Lamar did fumble. I hold him accountable to that. I'm not just gonna be a little Ravens fan that just Lamar don't do nothing. Lamar the greatest. Lamar got stuff to work on. That's the greatest thing about it. Lamar is great, but he got stuff to work on, bro. That's why I'm happy about the new OC we gonna get, cause everybody just think Lamar is great right now. Imagine what he gonna do when he lock in, get a new ceiling. It's gonna look way better. Lamar's got still stuff. He got more stuff to work on. That's what I say. But besides that, Lamar with what he has, he makes plays, bro. We drafted a little wide receiver, Zay Flowers. He been going crazy back to back years. But let me get back on track, bro. We gonna click the video. I ain't gonna yell.
Jalen Hurts has made it to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years.
Hold on, let me go back a little bit.
Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL simply because he's won Super Bowls. Also, he's won MVPs.
But Jalen Hurts has made it to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. So is the quarterback's team success dependent strictly on the quarterback, or I'm trying to figure out what your metric is for analyzing?
Quarterback is the most important position on the team.
Agreed.
So if you're going to look at that, you're going to look at Lamar Jackson. Yes, he's been great in the regular season. No one's denying that. But when it comes to winning important games, being the best player to take your team to the next level, he is astoundingly bad. 4-12, more turnovers than touchdowns. You cannot argue that he's terrible in big game situations.
So what do you qualify as?
And that is crazy because look, this is a year ago, but all that has it showed this season that he was able to do that.
One time.
Hold on, let me go back. Hold on.
So what do you qualify as a big game? Because you're hand-picking what game.
Any game in the playoffs.
Okay, he's only played the Steelers in the playoffs one time, and he absolutely dunked on them the last time. Then he played the Houston Texans last year. He absolutely dunked on them.
I'm saying they just be
the
chatting.
new version of Lamar Jackson has actually been pretty solid.
Has he ever made it to the Super Bowl?
No.
So how can you say that he's the best player in the NFL? He's never made it to the Super Bowl.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo the best player in the NFL? Like, once again, is that how we're gauging it?
I mean, I believe in order to have the crown of the best player in the NFL, you need to take your team to the next level. Lamar has not yet done that. And more turnovers than touchdowns in games when it counts.
No, that's your metric for what game counted.
We're talking about playoff Lamar.
But you're not referencing playoff stats.
I'm just saying
You're just
he
handpicking
is yet to take his team to the Super Bowl, so you cannot call him the best.
Okay.
Let's be honest, Lamar Jackson is Mr. October, and in baseball and in football, that's not a great thing. You got to be Mr. January, and he has never been that. You want to talk about highlights? You know what I think about? When Lamar threw it into triple coverage to Likely, thinking that he was going to get a flag from the refs. That's what he was counting on, the referees to go his way. Unacceptable. Do you know that Dak Prescott has a better passer rating in the playoffs than Lamar Jackson? 92 compared to 75? Absolutely not. Lamar, what?
It's be funny, bro. It's just hilarious, bro. Cause when this year happened, bro, and Lamar finally gets a Super Bowl, right? Like, what are people gonna say? People gonna still have stuff to say. That's why I was like, it's just funny to me. But yeah, like I said, as of recently, like Lamar has been playing better in the Super Bowl, bro. Like that's what he was saying. We beat the I gotta look at it. I don't know if it's the same year, but yeah, we played. I think we play the Steelers and then we played the Texans and then it was the Chiefs. I forgot because I don't think that was a 2023 year. I don't know.
You know people love Lamar Jackson? Yeah, he's Mr. Fantasy. He gets the most points fantasy the last 2 years. I call him the parlay quarterback. Now that legalized betting is cool, of course I love Lamar Jackson.
Wait.
He's on prime time all the time. I'm gonna make a 4-leg parlay. He's gonna go for 50 yards. He's gonna throw for 200. He's gonna get a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. That doesn't matter. Because the great player, the best player, finds a way to win in January.
And then it's crazy. Look, people bring up this whole turnover thing. Lamar literally gets his team in position to still win the game as of recently, bro.
Once again, team.
Like, he can make a mistake. He's still going to get his team in position to win. Just like in that Bills game. This last year, he made a mistake, but he corrected it. Let me go back. I just stopped talking over him.
Again, team versus, like, his performance against the Bills, inexcusable in the first half. Would you agree with that? 2 turnovers.
Absolutely.
His performance in the second half, fantastic.
It got better, but it takes him a while to adapt.
He didn't need to adapt in the first game against Pittsburgh.
Okay, that's Pittsburgh. Against aging Russell Wilson.
One of the best defenses in the league.
Granted. Okay. He got one. Now he's 3-5 in the playoffs.
So, play this game with me. Replace Patrick Mahomes with Lamar Jackson. You get Andy Reid as a play caller. You got Spags as a defensive play caller. How would Lamar do in the Chiefs system?
You can't prove that. He's probably gonna make a mistake. Just based on what he's done in the postseason. Yeah. He's gonna fumble it, he's gonna miss a snap, he's gonna mess up somewhere. Just on what he's done.
Yeah. So who made the mistake in the second half of the game? Lamar fumbled the ball in the second half of the game. Lamar Jackson dropped a pass that hit him in the chest in the second half of the game.
Fair, okay. So let's put on Mark Andrews, not the guy who gets the ball every snap.
Well, that's just what happened. I'm not like making up a hypothetical. That's
he's
what
taking
happened.
the snap at center.
Yes.
It's always gonna be on him.
100%. But I'm saying, put him on the Chiefs. Are they gonna win the Super Bowl? In your opinion?
He'll find a way to mess up.
I respect your opinion.
I respect yours.
All right, let's keep moving.
Can I just shoot something real quick?
It'd be so crazy, right?
There's a reason he went to Louisville. Horses become legendary in Kentucky, not quarterbacks.
So how can
I don't know
Lamar
what you just
Jackson
said.
be the best player in the NFL when he's got 2 quarterbacks in just the AFC that don't even respect him? His peers don't respect him because if you caught the hot mic, it was the 11th of November.
bro.
You had Josh Allen.
I'm trying not to pause, bro.
Post game, talking about how they were going to see each other in the AFC Championship game. I'm sorry, but doesn't Lamar Jackson also play in the AFC?
He does.
So among peers,
So they don't respect him?
they were counting on
Yeah.
playing each other in the AFC Championship game when your Ravens, your Lamar Jackson's Ravens, were expected to make the playoffs as well. They were totally discounting him. So he doesn't have any respect among his peers.
Lamar Jackson.
Bro, why is she so ecstatic saying this, bro?
Amongst his peers, you ask there was actually there was a player survey that said who's the most overrated player in the NFL, and it was Josh Allen. And that's when the players aren't speaking publicly. So behind closed doors, what are they saying? They're saying Lamar's awesome and Allen's overrated.
But they weren't speaking publicly. It was the 2 of them in the post game. They were shaking hands and they said, "All right, see ya."
So if I said I'll see you again soon, right after this, wouldn't that make a lot of sense?
No, because we're never going to see each other again. Number 1, and 2. We won't have.
Like,
to
what
be
is
in
this
the AFC
argument, bro?
Championship. Regardless, Lamar Jackson in his career in the postseason, in the playoffs, 7
What
years.
we're talking about
7
is
years.
Lamar Jackson the best player in the NFL now, not over his career.
Okay,
It's just such
okay.
a silly conversation.
It's not a silly conversation because if he wants to be the best player, if you
Okay.
want to call him the best player, let me finish.
Are you a
Let me
content
finish.
creator?
Let me finish.
Are you a content?
I'm not. Actually, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay.
What
so,
do you do in your life?
Hold
What
on
do you
a
do in
second.
your life?
No. Let me make my
If
point.
I reference
I'm gonna
something
make
you
my
did
point.
6 years
I'm gonna make
ago,
my point. Let me make
would
my
that-
point.
okay.
His career record in the playoffs: 3 and 5.
His career record in the playoffs under Todd Monken, 2-2.
Oh, okay. We're gonna talk about coaches. Let's talk about coaches.
Sure.
The coach of the Ravens.
Yes.
Do you think Joe Flacco is anywhere near the skill set of Lamar Jackson?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh, here we go, bro. I had to pause, bro. I'm about to fall asleep, bro. Hear this in my ear, bro. Here you go, bro. They just keep yapping about the same thing about these different quarterbacks in Super Bowl. She about to probably bring up Joe Flacco winning the Super Bowl under John Harbaugh, and different coaching, and Lamar under the same coach, and he didn't win a Super Bowl yet. Like, all of these losses, obviously Lamar can do his best, bro, but we all seen it's a team. It's the whole team, bro. It's never been like a game where we didn't see where Lamar literally like sold the whole team and made a mistake and let his team down. Obviously, as a quarterback, you got to be a leader. You got to get your team up. You got to keep your team head up. I could say he got room to work on being a leader, getting everybody focused and setting the tone for everybody. He do that sometimes, but it could be better. That's one thing I'll say. But with what she about to say with this whole, Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, bro. They had Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, gang. Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. Crazy defenses, bro.
Well, Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl with the coach of the Ravens.
Yeah.
He threw 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Lamar
man.
Jackson has never even thrown 3 touchdowns in a single game in the playoff in his career.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So, that's right. I'm cooking. Let's go. That's right.
Bro, this is like rage bait.
I mean, I agree with you, Lamar.
I can't even
Lamar
rage,
Jackson
bro. I
has
can't
all
even- I
these
can't even
single-season
get mad.
accolades. You know how many, all of those that Joe Flacco has won? Yeah, like none of them. Not an MVP ever. None of the All-Pro, never. Pro Bowl, nothing.
What's the point?
Wait,
know.
what?
How many? I agree with you, Lamar. And by the way, Lamar Jackson has all these single-season accolades. You know how many? All of those that Joe Flacco has won? Yeah, like none of them. Not an MVP ever. None of the All-Pro, never. Pro Bowl, nothing.
What's the point?
So-
I know. I'm a Ravens fan. I know
So
Joe's
if you're gonna
had
throw
more
out,
playoff
but if
success.
you're gonna throw out accolades, well then Joe Flacco has
Wait,
no.
I didn't throw it out.
Joe Flacco has no accolades, and he went and won a Super Bowl with the same coach that Lamar Jackson has. So why can't Lamar do it?
Lamar can do it. He just hasn't yet.
He hasn't yet. Oh. So wait a second now, and that drop that everybody wants to point to with Mark Andrews in the end zone. Well, if Lamar Jackson actually did his job and didn't strip sack fumble on the seventh play of the second quarter, they would have never potentially been in that situation for Mark Andrews to have dropped that ball. That strip sack fumble puts exactly 7 points on the board for the Buffalo Bills 4 plays later. And the Buffalo Bills.
That play was so bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that play was terrible. That play was so bad.
Like 8 years ago.
Because I didn't even understand how he dropped it.
Career, I was a senior in college. If you pin that stuff on me, I just feel like that would be funny. People grow, they get better, and this is the world's it's really sports media. They're obsessed with just stamping things in the moment, right? Lamar hasn't won it yet. Giannis had never won it. Michael Jordan hadn't won it. Remember when LeBron James hadn't won a title? It just takes time for some people. Not for Patrick Mahomes, but for everyone else. Josh Allen doesn't have a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow doesn't have a Super Bowl. There's 2 active starting quarterbacks in the NFL who have a Super Bowl. It's not just Lamar.
So we're saying the best player in the NFL.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, so here we go, bro.
Let's not.
Here we
I see
go.
What you're doing here. You're doing a great job. Right? Doing a great job, kid. Lamar, we talk about the season. He had all of these weapons. Patrick Mahomes didn't have all these weapons. He had Zay Flowers. Hold on, let me finish. Yeah, Zay Flowers.
What you about to say, bro?
He had Likely. He had Mark Andrews. He had King Henry. He had Justin Hill. Who can you compare that to Patrick Mahomes right now?
So you're mentioning all these things, right? Lamar had the better weapons. Mahomes didn't.
Yeah.
And in the season, regular season, who outplayed the other player?
Well, if you want to be honest, you say Patrick Mahomes outplayed him. Because if it was that true, he'd be in the number 1 seed. Was the Ravens the number 1 seed? No. Were they the number 1 seed?
Ravens had the worst defense in the NFL for 9 weeks.
Oh, so you're making excuses for your best player in the NFL.
Is that an
Bro, they rage bait. I'm telling you. Like, what? He just said you making excuses. Like, y'all heard it. I'm not even going to repeat it, but, bro, this video, like, this is exactly how people be on Twitter and Instagram on comments, just chatting, just saying anything just to get a point across. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like you should have, like, realistically, it shouldn't be really no reason to hate on Lamar unless you like an AFC North or you a Bills fan, bro. I don't even think the Bills should have no problem with Lamar. It probably is Ravens fans y'all got problems with, but y'all should have no problem with Lamar. Like, I don't got no problem with Josh Allen, no other quarterback, but when y'all get chatting about anything, then you might have a problem.
At the
But
same time, where's Lamar right now?
When the Ravens didn't have the 32nd worst defense in the NFL, they won every single game.
Has he showed up in big games so far?
Define a big game.
The AFC Championship games that he played in 2019 and 2023. Okay. Did he show up?
He didn't play in 2019, but in
yes, he did. 2020? Yes, he did.
In the AFC Championship?
Yes, he did. When he was an MVP?
It was divisional round. But in that game...
But who did he lose to in both of those games?
Well,
Patrick Mahomes.
No. He lost to the Titans in 2019. He had 550 total yards.
Oh, the 9-7 Titans. The 9-7
Yeah.
Titans. Oh, okay. The best player lost to the 9-7 Titans.
But you said
Lamar was going crazy that game. They dropping so much passes.
The Ravens had 7 drops in the game.
Correct.
Is that a Lamar Jackson
Correct,
problem?
but he didn't show up. Did they win? Did they win that game?
Like,
That's
what,
Did they
bro?
win that game?
I think you know the answer to that.
Yeah, we both know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And that's why he's not the best player.
Okay.
Even right now. Okay, he rushed for what? 900 plus yards this year?
Sure.
And he threw for how much? 4,000 plus?
Yeah. First player ever.
Patrick Mahomes done that for about, let's say, 6 seasons. Passing yards? Passing yards.
But you just referenced the rushing.
He said rush yards. He just said that.
Over 900.
Yes.
Name one player that's won a Super Bowl that rushed that much. I'll close my eyes. Nobody.
So you're just saying he'll never win a Super Bowl because he's a mobile quarterback?
I said he needs to improve his game. Maybe work on the passing than just,
like leading
rushing.
the NFL in touchdown passes, or
yeah, we could scratch our head, but as we scratch my head, I look at Patrick has 3 to your 0. Have a good day, y'all.
Yo, bro. So this is wait, hold on. So he I guess he a Chiefs fan. He said, like I said, it goes back to the same thing, bro. Super Bowls, bro. That's all everybody got on Lamar. Super Bowls.
Back all time.
you know I'm right. I like that.
That's right. Say my first rodeo. Okay. Give me your top 10 quarterbacks of all time.
I can't even name. It's hard to name 10 quarterbacks that's just great. Well, it's not hard to name. I ain't even say that.
It's a congregate of statistical, like longevity, winning. Even though winning is a team accolade, winning is important to mix in here, because years ago somebody like a Matthew Stafford would have never been put in this discussion. Meanwhile, that Super Bowl that he won a couple of years ago, for some people, one Super Bowl is good enough. Aaron Rodgers, me being a Jets fan, only has one Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, he a Jets fan. Oh, yeah, I know who he
Let's
been.
NFC Championship.
You have 0 Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, I understand that. It's miserable.
All right, he said he miserable.
You have it a little bit better than me, but what I'm saying though is that sometimes one ring can kind of validate the greatness of a player, right? So in the case of Lamar Jackson, who's never going to win a ring, in the event that he does, maybe you could put him in the top 10, right? But as it stands right now, what real argument do you have to put him in the top 10?
So I think the prompt is Lamar Jackson a top 10 quarterback of all time?
Okay.
So there's a lot of, it depends what you're measuring on. I'll admit, if you're doing it off of accolades, if you're doing it off longevity, it's going to be difficult for him to be in the top 10 if he's only playing the league for 7 years. You're kind of ending his career when others got 8, 10 more years to play. So if I want to say he's a top 10 player of all time, I like to think of, there's just from a skill standpoint and from a performance standpoint, and acknowledging that the athletes and the players in 2024 and 2025 are at a level that the 1980s players could never touch. And what I mean by that is, like, Dan Marino is going to have better long-term stats, better longevity. But, like, let's be real. Like, put freaking Brock Purdy in that era, and he's probably dicing him up. The same way we say MJ used to play against plumbers, MJ is not the athlete that Anthony Edwards is today.
Okay, so we're talking about football, by the way.
I understand, but I'm just saying. So if you take an athlete, Barry Sanders, he might be Isaiah Pacheco. The athletes
We're talking quarterbacks, not running backs.
But I'm saying, if you want to look at like who are the 10 greatest players to ever put on the shoulder pads and play the position, he's undeniably in the top 10.
Undeniably.
I don't know so give me 10 quarterbacks over Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson all time. Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Tom Brady.
Okay.
I'm going to put Dan Marino. Even though Dan Marino did not win a ring, he was outstanding for his era. And in an era over the course of, we'll say, the last 10 to 15 years, maybe outside of this season, in a passing era, Marino thrives.
Okay.
I will put Rodgers. I will put John Elway. I will put Patrick Mahomes. 5 Super Bowl appearances in 6 years, 3 championships. That makes a difference, right? So right off the bat, I gave you 6 names, right? I think that's fair, and we can debate the other names here. For me personally, it's like I value longevity, right? I value a guy like Matthew Stafford in this era, right?
Matthew Stafford's better than Lamar Jackson.
I like Brett Favre. Brett Favre is
I'm still on that Dan Marino. I don't know what. Dan Marino, I gotta do my homework.
To your point, how much weight are we holding the previous era, right? If we're talking previous era, the guys like Troy Aikman and Roger Staubach and Terry Bradshaw, we can debate maybe they weren't individually as talented as Lamar Jackson, but multiple time Super Bowl winners.
Sure.
We have to get Lamar Jackson there once. You cannot put him in any top 10 list until we get to that point.
But you did with Dan Marino. Have a good day.
Valiant effort. Next.
That's crazy, bro. He said Dan Marino.
Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Patrick Mahomes, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Which one of those guys had to bring on the greatest running back of all time to their team to try and make it to the Super Bowl, and they still didn't make it to the Super Bowl? That was Lamar Jackson this year. They had to bring on Derrick Henry, basically the greatest running back of all time.
This dude might be top 10 Braves betters, bro. He keep talking about offense like it's not a defense just don't exist, bro. He might be number 1. I ain't gonna lie. He's trying to get it, bro. He is rage betting to his finest, bro. He keep talking about offense. That's all I'm hearing. He ain't saying nothing about defense. He ain't saying nothing about coaching. He ain't saying nothing else about game management. Nothing, bro. Just straight offense and defense. Quarterback, running back. I'm telling you, bro. Jimmy Neutron about to get me.
You're saying to me, if Tom Brady added on a Derrick Henry, he would have gone undefeated yet again.
So I'm confused. A top 10 player of all time can't have a top teammate.
I'm saying when you're looking at the top 10 quarterbacks of all time,
so
you don't remember the running backs. Who was the running back on the Broncos when the Broncos won the Super Bowl?
So does Marvin Harrison with Peyton Manning count?
I mean, you could say that about Mark Andrews. You could say that about.
I'm
not talking about receivers. I'm talking about they brought on Derrick Henry to try and win a Super Bowl. They couldn't even make the conference championship with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. You have Derrick Henry on your team, man.
So you're saying it's more valuable to have a star running back
oh
as a
my
quarterback
god,
than a star like wide receiver or tight end?
I mean, regardless, there's still star tight ends on the Ravens. Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers didn't play in the playoffs.
Okay, but he played during the regular season.
And they were awesome. They had the best DVOA offense of all time.
I'm just saying this. How many wins this year do you think the Ravens would have had without Derrick Henry?
12.
I mean, I think that's
Lamar Jackson,
unbelievable to say.
Wait, based on what? Because Lamar Jackson is the winningest regular season quarterback of all time, and he's never had Derrick Henry. But now with Derrick Henry, he's worth 4 or 5 wins to the team.
I'm
Explain
just saying,
that.
nobody.
So he went 14-2. His star running back was Mark Ingram. He went 12-5. He had Gus Edwards. He went 13-4. He had J.K. Dobbins. But it was Derrick Henry who changed the team this year.
I'm just saying they tried to bring on Derrick Henry in order to make a Super Bowl. They could not even make it to the conference championship.
No, I know. I was.
He ain't get to me, bro. I ain't even gonna say nothing, bro.
Watch that game.
He trying, bro.
That he will never get there is because he has all of the things you can't teach. He has talent. He has that it factor, that X factor that you really can't teach. But I just feel like he's not taking care of the stuff you can teach, like learning the book, checking out all your reads before you decide that you're going to run for it. And I think it matters way more to him to prove that you can be a top 10 quarterback of his style than it is to concede a little bit, learn some reads, learn some plays in order to take that team to the Super Bowl. I think it's more important to him personally to prove all those doubters wrong, that he should have been a wide receiver or whatever, than it is to take his team and lead his team to the Super Bowl, which he needs to be considered for that top 10 conversation.
Yeah, the biggest knock on Lamar in the AFC Championship last year and then all through the season this year was he actually wasn't running enough. So his mom had to get on the phone with him and tell him he should run a little bit more. And he publicized that at a press conference. So I don't really think it makes a ton of sense.
Hold on.
You know,
Disclaimer, bro. Not even a disclaimer. I need to look this up real quick. Hold on. Ravens. Hold on. I spelled that wrong, but hold on. I need to look this up real quick. For playoffs. Hold on. I was thinking about this. I gotta look this up real quick. Hold on. This game particularly, bro. How much times did we run the ball? We ran the ball 6 times in this game. 6 times. 6 times. It's so crazy, bro. Look at this, bro. I don't know how tall Nelson Aguilar is. I think he about 6 foot. But I was just thinking about we already know that. We barely have tall wide receivers. We had OBJ, he 5'10", Zay Flowers. We all got straight little speed running backs, bro. But yeah, we only ran the ball 6 times with running backs. 6 times, 20 yards, and we don't run the ball. I don't understand it. You would think it was a blowout, the way we was trying to run the ball. But back to this. I just had to look that up because I heard people talking about that.
Lamar's at a point in his career where he's gone first read, second read. So I just don't find any of that to be very true.
Do you think that he could stand to be a little bit more cerebral when it comes to running the huddle and being a leader of the team in the huddle, rather than being like, physically, I'm going to get it done for you?
I don't think he's just like a go out and do it guy, personally.
Well, to quote the young Dakota Fanning, to the late, great Brittany Murphy in Uptown Girls, fundamentals are the building blocks of fun. And everyone will say that he's having so much fun, but I just don't feel like he's trying hard enough to study and take care of it. I just don't see that from him.
All right. Appreciate it.
Lamar Jackson got to hit the books. Lamar Jackson deserves the 2024 NFL.
If I see somebody get up here and say he doesn't, bro, I see what type of people they brought up here, bro. They not even trying to spit facts. Like, they just trying to get people mad, bro. They not. It's no way this is even an argument. There's no way.
Already. Does he really need a third one?
Oh
No,
yeah.
he doesn't.
I told you, bro. I told you.
No.
They just on here to rage bait.
It's a little greedy now.
They just on here to bait.
But can we debate this for this one moment? Can we give it to a running back this year? Can we have a running back be MVP? If it's not Saquon, why not his own teammate, Derrick Henry?
What's your definition of an MVP?
Most valuable player.
Okay.
What they do on the field, of course. If you just sit here, you're just gonna say, "Oh well, Lamar's had the best stats." Not really. He did pass for 4,000 yards and he rushed for 900. We get that point. You don't want to bring the playoffs? Hey, we get that point too. But besides that, it's always quarterback. What about the running back?
Negro, cuz you can't. A quarterback forever gonna be the most valuable person on the field, bro. A quarterback is gonna forever be that. That's why they own the MVP award. It's simple. Like what? I'm muted. Hold on.
Quarterback. What about the running back?
Like what is he chatting about? Talking about a running back.
They're just not more valuable. I think you know that.
So they're not more valuable, but this is a team sport.
But
Does he score all the points?
No.
No.
Just Saquon?
Saquon doesn't, but he scored most of them.
Well, let's see. Saquon had 16 rushing touchdowns.
Correct.
Jalen Hurts, his own teammate, had 14.
Yeah. Something called the tush push. I could. You throw me in there for 1 yard, I'm gonna push it down.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Lamar Jackson had 44 touchdowns.
I don't know about that.
Congratulations to him.
Well, you're just saying that
Congratulations to him.
You okay.
So
I don't know, what do you say?
Something called the tush push. I could. You throw me in there for 1 yard, I'm gonna push it down.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying.
Lamar Jackson had 44 touchdowns.
Congratulations to him.
Well, you're just saying that
Congratulations to him.
you okay.
So what are you saying? You want him to be MVP again?
I think
You would love it. You would love to see it happen, right?
No, it doesn't really affect me.
Okay.
I think that he's gonna win it. I think he should win it. I think everyone in Baltimore knows that us as a fan base, we just want to see him win the Super Bowl MVP. But I don't think running backs are more valuable than quarterbacks. And if that's the definition of an MVP to you, then a running back shouldn't win the MVP. That's all.
This is why he's not in the Super Bowl right now. Congratulations.
The Ravens.
Like, bro, he is baiting, bro. He keep doing it. I might, bro, like, he trying to get me,
Lamar
bro.
Jackson back.
So Lamar Jackson said when he wins a Super Bowl, he will switch his jersey number.
Oh
to
my gosh.
Looking at your jersey, it still says 8. What's the reason? Is it the Ravens holding Lamar Jack, or is it Lamar holding the Ravens back? Let's
What'd he
look at
say?
Ravens holding Lamar Jack, or is it
Huh? He said Lamar Jack.
What's the reason? Is it the Ravens holding Lamar Jack, or is it Lamar holding the Ravens back? Let's look at how this team has tried to build for Lamar Jackson. Right? Starting 2018, they decide Lamar is their future. And so if we look in their recent past, they draft Zay Flowers early to get him more help and support. They got smoked by the Titans in that iconic 28-12 playoff loss years ago. Derrick Henry popped off. So what do? You can't beat them? Join them. They bring Derrick Henry over to the Ravens to supplement Lamar Jackson, make it a more balanced attack. So you have, not elite wide receivers, but you have a strong wide receiver, strong tight ends, strong running back. The offense is there for Lamar Jackson to succeed. But as I showed earlier, in the regular season, he could not get that number 2 seed. I strongly believe if he had done better in the regular season, Ravens would have been hosting the Bills. Much better chance they win that playoff game. So I know we like to isolate playoffs, regular season. Like, why do we talk about them separately? In this case, if he does a little bit better in the regular season, he makes even just one comeback drive, Ravens get, he had the Bengals drive, so I want to give you some. But, one of those 5 losses, he has a comeback drive. Ravens get the 2 seed, they likely move on. The Ravens are trying to put pieces around Lamar. Lamar's not able to take advantage.
Yeah, they built a really good defense the first few years with Lamar, and then a bad pass game, and so that kind of stunted his growth. And he's grown incredibly as a passer. And then Zay was awesome this year. It was the first time the Ravens have drafted a Pro Bowl receiver in their history. Defense really struggled to start the year. He kind of had to hold them afloat. And I think when you look at all this sympathy for Joe Burrow, Lamar got it done, and Burrow didn't, right? And then so then the back half of the year they built a great team. The games that they lost early on that might have cost them, not to mention they did beat the Bills by 25 points during the regular season, but they allowed 27 to the Chiefs, they allowed 20 something to the Raiders, they allowed 29 to the Browns. So in games that they lost,
we gave 20 points to the Raiders,
where he put up a dud. He played pretty well this season, and then it's kind of just how the cookie crumbles. This is just how football works. It's not a best of 7 series. Sometimes
imagine a best out of 7 in the Super Bowl.
Sure, but in these cases, Lamar had the chance to win at the end of the game, right? It's not that the defense is playing so atrociously that they're down 20 points going into the fourth quarter. In pretty much every game this season, even the ones they lost, one scored, and the ones they won, sometimes they dominated. Lamar's put in a position to succeed. It's not that the Ravens are holding him back.
Yeah,
right?
well, I guess let me ask you. Lamar really messed up in the first half of the Bills game. But you're talking about he can't come from behind. Well, he leads this 88-yard drive with his wide receiver one is I don't even know who it technically was on that drive. And then
bro was throwing to Tyler Wallace respectfully, and Isaiah likely. I don't know if Rashad Bateman was good, but I know Zay wasn't playing. And I forgot the other wide receiver, bro. I forgot his name. It was number 6, bro. Why I keep doing it?
I don't even know who it technically was on that drive. And then his most trusted player drops. Did you think it was a good throw, bad throw on the 2?
It was fine. And if it was isolated, then sure, you can go and pass. It's just happened too many times. And even in that case, still leaves a minute and a half left on the clock. You know Josh Allen, who's more clutch, is going to
But what's that have to do with Lamar? Lamar doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson will win a Super Bowl in the next 3 seasons.
It's hard to.
I ain't gonna
project.
lie. Hold on. I'm willing to put a bet on this, bro. I'm willing to put a bet on this that we win a Super Bowl in the next 3 seasons. Just know, if it don't, I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Win a Super Bowl in the next 3 seasons.
It's hard to project into the future, right? Kansas City, the Chiefs model, right? 5 Super Bowl appearances in 6 years, right? They may not go back after this year. They may go back all 3 times after this year, right? What we do know is that when it comes to all these quarterbacks in the AFC, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, we're going to group them together. Only one of these guys has beaten Mahomes in the last 6 years in the playoff game. And it took a little extra time for him to do it, and he fell short in the Super Bowl, right? So when you get these opportunities, you got to make the most of these opportunities, right? Not only are we talking about a Super Bowl, but it's like we got to get it out of the AFC first, right? So until I see Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, and again, I commended you the Ravens program before. They're one of the best organizations in the NFL, period. But everything changes on a dime in the NFL, right? And it's incredibly hard to project. Maybe the Bills, give Josh Allen a 5th try. Maybe he does it. I think he's overrated too. But point being is that the Steelers were very, very
He a
good
Jets
this
fan
year
saying this.
until they fell off in the second half of the season. They have just as good of a program as the Ravens, a great coach, Mike Tomlin, like John Harbaugh. They could always get back to the Super Bowl, right? You look at teams in the AFC West, the Broncos were very, very good. Very good defense, core pieces on defense, and a promising guy who, Bo Nix, even though he did not play well in the playoff game against Buffalo, a lot of promise, and I think he's only going to get better from here on. So you got to throw a team like the Broncos in this discussion,
So I
right?
have a quick question for you.
Yes.
Why do you have promise for Bo Nix and not Lamar Jackson?
Well, it's not that we don't have promise for Lamar Jackson.
So
We're
you do.
acknowledging that he's very good.
Okay.
But
you think
we've
he
given
could
him-
improve?
we've given him one crack in the AFC Championship game against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs already.
Yeah.
And they scored 10 points.
Yeah.
In a home playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
They were the 1 seed years ago in that playoff game against the Titans, right? We've amply set up the Ravens multiple times with the best possible path and track to get to the Super Bowl, and they have not made the Super Bowl yet.
So you're saying
the first
we,
hurdle
as
is
if you're like, puppeteer.
Yes.
Who put them in that spot?
the Ravens,
Yeah.
the front office.
Like, you wouldn't say there's maybe a quarterback who wears number 8 who was a big part in getting them to the number 1 seed.
Yes.
Like, so you would acknowledge, right,
Right.
that the easiest path to a Super Bowl is getting the 1 seed. You play 2 home games,
Yes.
one against the weakest opponent, and then one to go to the game, right? By the way, I just want to throw on Lamar Jackson is something like 27-2 against the NFC. So if he does get there,
If he does,
It's a-
because
it's a-
we're now over
for sure.
with them as a 1 seed
for
trying
sure.
to get to the Super
but
Bowl.
if he gets there, you would agree they probably have a good chance in the game. Because on top of
Good
that,
coin flip.
but on top of that, he's also, in theory, kind of broken through, right? Everyone in this room, I think, agrees he's a special player, and he's just come up short. So what happens if he does get to the Super Bowl?
There are a lot of other players in the NFL who are special players and have come up short.
So my point is,
There are so many
you're
factors.
acknowledging that Lamar Jackson does a really good job of putting
I'm just
the
letting
Ravens
him
in
talk.
position to get to that spot. So the question is, will he win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years? I'm saying I'll take my bet that if he continues to put them in a 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed over the next years and has improved every single playoff appearance, right? You mentioned 10 points in the AFC Championship 2 years ago. This year, even with 2 turnovers in the game, one then by his teammate, a third one, he still put up 25 points, and if Mark Andrews catches the ball, 27. So he's shown progress, right, over this time. So you've got a quarterback who's continuing to improve in his game, and you're telling me he's going to put his team in a position to have an easy path to get there. I'll take my chances.
May I make one last point? To
Keep it
reference, in order to get there, the offensive line has to improve and the defense has to improve. Two strengths that the Ravens have always had the last 10 to 15 years are no longer strengths for them. And it's not going to get any better. So if they're going to make the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson, it better get better because there are 4 or 5 teams in the AFC alone. We didn't even talk about the NFC. 4 or 5 teams in the AFC alone who you could project the next couple of years, the next 3 years, that could get there maybe just as much as the Ravens.
You can't go into the future expecting a different outcome when the past has already shown you, how many times he's had the opportunity to go further and couldn't. And you said, you gave an example, right? Like this last playoff game was probably the best playoff game he's ever played, especially from a passer rating. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. His last two, every single one before that, wasn't good.
He's on kind of a upward slope.
Right, his last two were his best two playoff games. They lost.
Houston in the division round last year, but sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But lost, right? Like this last game, he lost the playoff game.
Yes, they
Right.
lost.
So even at his best playoff game he's possibly ever played in his career, they still lost. So I'm saying, like, no matter what,
that's the best playoff game. Number one, it's
You
not
just
the best
said that,
playoff
what?
game of his career, but let's use the Bills-Ravens game.
Right,
Let's
right.
say it's one of.
Right.
He hasn't gotten there yet, but he's shown improvement, even within that game as a microcosm, right? 2 turnovers in the first half. Absolutely brutal.
Right.
0 turnovers, 0 punts in the second half, scored on every drive, including a 90-yard touchdown drive. So, like, as he continues this upward trajectory, it gives me confidence that it will happen.
but even with that best game, it didn't. So if you can expect
No,
him to
but
keep
it's
playing
not-
better and better, him as a single player, but
Yeah.
the team, you're
The
not
team,
getting
yeah.
there.
So I have a question for you.
Right.
Did you ever think Matt Stafford would win the Super Bowl? Because he was coined as the biggest loser in the NFL.
At what point? What do you mean? Did I ever
His
think?
entire career with the Lions, everyone's like, "Oh, he's a loser. He's a loser." Go back in time. Peyton Manning hadn't won a Super Bowl at this point in his NFL
Right.
career. Did you ever think he would win a Super Bowl? Does it look a little silly now looking
I ain't
back
gonna lie,
and being
that is-
like,
that
well,
is
Peyton
facts,
Manning-
though.
I was the one saying Peyton Manning wouldn't
Yeah.
win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020, and I mean for every single player ever to win a Super Bowl, hindsight's 2020. To be like, oh, I can look back and say yes, they eventually.
So, all
won.
right. So then the question at hand
So if Lamar
is,
switches a team, then he can go into the Super Bowl. But no, I
well,
don't think that
Peyton,
either.
Peyton won at the same team. But the question at hand is, do you think he'll win one in the
I
next
don't.
3 years?
I don't. I don't think he's. If you look at even career-wise, Lamar Jackson's not top 10 in anything but rushing yards, and it's because he has the most attempts, right? What you said, shoot 100 shots to make 30 points. He has the most attempts. Doesn't even have the highest rushing average per carry out of quarterbacks. That's still in Michael Vick. He's behind by a whole yard still. So I say
whole
Baker
yard.
Mayfield has more passing yards and touchdowns than him in his entire career, and they were drafted the same year. Baker Mayfield. So if you put Baker Mayfield on the Ravens, do they win the Super Bowl?
Do you believe that in your heart?
From a statistics standpoint?
No.
Oh my
genuinely, do you
goodness,
believe that?
bro.
Or is it for the show?
Oh yeah. Do I think if Baker Mayfield was on the Ravens, would they win the Super Bowl? The way he played this year? Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Respect the time.
Okay.
Time to go.
So the prompt is, will Lamar
Oh
Jackson
my
within
God,
the
bro.
next 3 years?
Now we got her, bro.
Yeah,
Hold
I
on.
actually feel.
Now we got her. I ain't gonna lie. She elite because she be smiling and jump, bro. She get too excited over her little points, bro. I've been trying to chill, bro, because I ain't gonna lie. What other bro said, he said talking about some Baker Mayfield. It wouldn't won a Super Bowl if they had him.
I'm pretty
I ain't
confident
listening.
that if you gave me a bet that said yes or no, I would bet on yes.
So we've established
Putting the whole house on it.
throughout the course of today that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the AFC. Is Patrick Mahomes retiring in the next 3 years?
No. No.
So you don't have any inside information on that?
No.
Okay, so I think that it's silly to say that Lamar Jackson can go ahead and beat Patrick Mahomes. He can't even get past Josh Allen. My point being, and you were talking about this growth trajectory, yeah, and Lamar Jackson has had playoff games where he's had a quarterback rating of 10, another one where he's had a quarterback rating of 18. Okay, growth. I'll give you the growth mindset,
Okay.
but does that mean Patrick Mahomes isn't going to get any better over the next couple of years? Josh Allen isn't going to get any better? They're all going to be getting better.
Totally.
So how can you say that the growth trajectory of Lamar Jackson would be greater than any of the other top quarterbacks in the league?
Well, okay, it's a good question. So you mentioned a passer rating of 10, passer rating 18.
Sure.
We've never seen Patrick Mahomes play that poorly in the playoffs, right? So when you talk about kind of like how this slope could potentially meet, Mahomes can barely improve, right? He's been one of the greatest playoff quarterbacks of all time. And what Lamar can continue to step up is a much larger gap. So I guess that would be the answer to your question.
Well, then my follow-up would then be, okay, well, you've like everybody mentioned, you got Derrick Henry. I mean, this is the best statistical year of his career, and he still couldn't get it done. And you reference a lot in that Bills game about the Bills, and the first half was awful by Lamar Jackson, and then he rebounded in the second half. But in the first half in the playoffs when the lights are the brightest, he couldn't get it done. His strip sack fumble set the Bills up almost in the red zone.
Yeah.
And they never regained the lead after that. And no matter what Lamar Jackson did, he couldn't put the team in a position to go ahead and win that game.
Well, that's not true. But
no, but it is. Because
well, it's not because he did put them in that position. It was just his teammate dropped the ball.
Well,
and when the drive previous, Mark Andrews fumbled. That was driving to take the lead. So, but let me answer your question.
That's crazy, bro. Just to think about that, bro. We didn't have that game. If y'all watched it, well, obviously most of y'all watched it. Y'all watching the video. That game we had in total, literally, 2 fumbles, one from Lamar, one from Mark Andrews, 1 pick, and 2. We couldn't complete the 2-point conversion twice, bro. We had one in like the third, or I don't know if it was the fourth. We couldn't complete it. Then we got down there. Lamar got us all the way down there. Then we couldn't complete the game. So yeah, obviously I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be realistic. In that game, we did have a chance to win, but bro, we had 1 minute left. It had 1 minute left. With the way the defense is playing, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say that if they would have won that game or not. And then, like this year, we played them first game of the season. We was up 40-25, but we choked and lost. Like it's just, I don't know. I don't even like speaking like old games no more, bro. I'm ready for the new year.
That's the next step for Lamar. You cannot turn the ball over in the playoffs. That's what Josh Allen does incredibly well. That's what Jalen Hurts does incredibly well.
Correct.
And of course Patrick Mahomes. So, if you're in agreement that Lamar has improved year over year, what is the next step for him?
The next step is to not have a strip sack fumble that leads the Buffalo Bills. Agreed. But
so do you think he can make that step?
No.
That's the question.
No, and Mark Andrews, he should have never put Mark Andrews in that position to have to come up with that.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I can't do this, bro. It's like, what is, bro? This is bad. This is bad, bro. This is bad.
Yeah, because
it's freedom of speech, but like,
7 points were
what is she
Bills
chatting
4
about?
plays after that strip sack fumble. That's it.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah.
14-7, game over.
And it's crazy because the same thing happened to it's crazy. The same thing happened to Josh Allen this year. Literally, he fumbled, gave up 3, and they ended up losing the whole game by 3 points. It's crazy. Just saying, but like, I don't know. That strip sack, yeah, that happened, but like, I don't know, bro.
He dropped the ball.
Lamar gonna have to have the best game in his career for us to win a Super Bowl. That's what I see.
Same thing.
Do you see things that he could tangibly improve on from year to year?
I think it's as simple as don't turn the ball over in the playoffs.
That's it?
What makes Patrick Mahomes the best quarterback.
That's all you gotta do.
He protects the ball.
And do you think he is in a position to do that himself, or is it based on offensive line, people around him?
It's a good question, right? Like, you cannot control your teammates, but in the playoff games where the Ravens have come up short, 2019 Titans, did we have 7 drops in the game? Did Lamar have 500 yards? Yes, but he also turned the ball over. Against the Bills, did Mark Andrews drop the ball? Did he fumble the ball? Yes, but Lamar also had 2 turnovers. So yeah, you can't control your teammates, but I think as a team and as a leader, you kind of continue to instill that mentality, and it's got to be from him first. He's got to stop turning the ball over, and if his teammates do it, then then maybe it's out of his control.
So
and it's crazy, like all of this when Ravens lose games, bro. It is literally turnovers every time. Every time we lose games, it's always about turnovers. Like this year, we had Derrick Henry fumbling a lot. Patriots versus Ravens game, fumbled, and that messed us up a lot. It's like we just keep turning the ball over. I don't know if that's a coaching thing or players. We need to be practicing more, and it's a thing where we just got to play smart and protect the ball. That's something you got to teach in practice. That just might be the answer. It might just be a coaching thing. We have to make protecting the ball a priority when we practice the whole entire year. That should be a priority. If I'm the Ravens head coach, Jesse Minzer, that should be the main priority. Well, not the main priority, but one of the priorities, one of the expectations in the offense, bro. You should be able to protect the ball, play smart, and trust your offense and get down the field. You don't have to always make a crazy Superman play every time. Protect the ball and get down the field, because turnover has been the main factor on why we've been losing games, or one of the main factors on why we've been losing all these games. Whether it's in the playoffs or in the regular season, it's in a big game. We've been losing games like that because of turnovers. We got to stop that. That's all I'm
At
saying.
what point do you say to yourself as a fan, I'm actually kind of mad at this guy, and I don't support him or as much as I did because I feel like he's letting me down. We see that all across the league now. I'm a Steeler fan, and Russell Wilson breaks my heart. And I've been a Steeler fan my whole life, and I hate Joe Flacco more than I hate Lamar Jackson because he's still ruining my life now, and it's been like 20 years.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, Lamar, at what point do you become a hater?
That's a good way to end it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be a Lamar Jackson hater. I mean, this might be a cop out, but like off the field and on the field, like he's just a guy
He's
having
the
a
best
lot of
guy.
Yeah, he's just
He's
a
the
good
best guy.
So it would be tough to like hate on him. He's had nothing, besides selling some faulty gym equipment, maybe. No, I can't imagine myself being a Lamar hater.
That'll do it for this episode of Fan vs. Hater, Lamar
Man.
Jackson edition. In the
This video, but I had to be quiet because it's like I want to yell, get mad, and all that because they saying these things, but I can understand they just trolling, bro. They know damn well when Lamar get a championship, they gonna be on the same bandwagon trying to support him and do all this, bro. Like I told y'all, the Ravens is winning the Super Bowl in the next 3 years, and I'm willing to put up my whole entire career, my whole entire mortgage. I'll go homeless with this, bro. Ravens is winning the Super Bowl in the next 3 years. I stamp that. I might have to give me a tattoo. Like, I don't know. I can already see it, bro. I can already see it. The Ravens got a new staff in town, bro, and I feel like they gonna do it. And then one more thing too. Like I had to like think about it, bro. People were saying that. Well, even me, I was saying Tyler Loop. I'm happy that he missed the field goal. I'm happy that he did this. But the main thing that Steve Bisciotti was saying that the reason why he fired John Harbaugh was because he didn't want to hire new staff. He wanted to keep Todd Monken or Zach Orr. I don't know which one it was. He didn't want to get new guys, and that was the reason why we kind of got rid of him because he wanted to bring in new people. And Todd Monken, and John Harbaugh wanted to keep his people and be loyal to them. I even seen John Harbaugh almost hired Rex Ryan as defensive coordinator for the Giants. So I don't know. I feel like he was just getting tired of that. That's why you seen what the hiring process. You seen all those crazy weapons we didn't hire for offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, all the little positions and stuff. That's why you see that. Cause John Harbaugh wasn't trying to do a full sweep and get guys out of there. He wasn't doing that, bro. Because you got to think he been there for 18 years, so he loyal to all his people. He wasn't trying to do all that. So I'm glad everything changed. We're going to see a new era. Like, it's not just a new OC, new DC change, bro. This is a whole new thing, new head coach, new position thing. Like, all this stuff changing. So, like I said, I'm going to react to another video of what happened today because I did see an interview with all the OCs, DCs, and the head coach. So, we're going to watch that. But y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We almost at 500 subs, man. And I'm out.